These are your notes for selecting appropriate graphs. So we're going to go over the different types of graphs and what each one is used best for. So data can be displayed in many different ways, including the following. A blank shows the number of items in a specific category. That would be a bar graph. Bar graphs show categories, like favorite shoes, favorite color, favorite food, stuff like that. We can put that over here. Favorite shoes, food, color, etc. Blank shows change over a period of time. Well, we call that a line graph. It's going to create a line, like right here, that's a line graph. A blank shows how many times each number occurs in the data, so we call that a dot plot. Dot plots are like these right here. It shows the number of times that 5 occurs in this data. A blank shows the number of times each data value appears, usually as a percent. Well, that would be a percent bar or circle graph, either or, you may see both. A blank shows frequency of data divided into equal intervals. So that would be a histogram. Histograms have intervals down at the bottom. A blank is used to organize large data sets, so they're easier to interpret. We use stem and leaf plots for large sets of data. A blank is used to organize data into quartiles. And if you remember quartiles, those were in our box and whisker plots or box plots. Okay, so which display allows you to see how art show ticket prices have changed since 2007? Well, first off, this doesn't show me anything with how prices have changed. This line graph right here shows me in 2007 they were $4, in 2008 they were $5, they stayed $5, they went up to $6, then $7, then $8. So this one shows me how the prices have changed. And again, this is a time. And if we look at a period of time, that's a line graph, so I know I chose correctly. Number 2, which type of display would you choose to show the results of a survey of students' favorite brand of tennis shoes? Well, we kind of talked about that up here. That would be a category like favorite something or other, so that would be a bar graph. Number 3, which display makes it easier to see how many students had test scores in the 80s? So this does tell me students' test scores. Ashley had close to an 80, Brandon had close to an 80, Jesse. So I could use this to figure it out, but this one is definitely easier because it automatically tells me, hey, there's 3 kids that had test scores in the 80s, 80 to 89. So I would say a frequency table. This one's much easier to see. Could you technically figure it out? Absolutely. You'd have to just be careful that you didn't get up into the 90s range. So this one you could use, but this one is definitely easier. So that's the key word there, easier. And then the last one, which display makes it easier to see a data set with 200 values? That's a very large number. So if you look up here, large data sets, we're going to make a stem and leaf plot. All right, so that is your notes for selecting appropriate graphs. This is important to know up here to help you figure out the best way to look at a set of data, what's the easiest way to interpret it. So this is very helpful.